right, man. Let's get the hard question out of the way first.
All right.
The hair. Why did you chop it off?
Just time for a change, man. I had my hair for a long time. Yeah, just time for a change.
So your first time without dread since when?
Since 2012.
First time since 2012.
Yeah, since 2012.
Biggest
The end of
changes. What
2012.
are like the biggest changes going from dreads to no dreads?
Yeah, I kept rubbing my head. The air makes my ear cold. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot. But it was good, though. A good change.
What is what is the significance of this fight? Do you feel like this one coming up? Compare it to some of the other ones that you've had.
I just feel like the only thing that I feel like really significant about it is just being on the main card and just being in my hometown. Um, I'm fighting in the city that I grew up in. You know what I'm trying to say? I did a lot of stuff down there, lived a whole different lifestyle. So I feel like now I get to go down there and leave a new mark on my city. You know what I'm trying to say? Leave something else behind than what I left behind before. So I actually think this really a significant fight for me.
Okay. Well, what is your story? I mean, you're born in Miami, right?
Yeah, I was born in Miami, raised in Hollywood, Florida. Moved around a lot. Um, I guess my story would just be trying to find myself the whole time. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I grew up with a harsh lifestyle, but I grew up pretty hard. You know what I mean? A lot of fighting, being on the street. You know what I'm trying to say? Just living a lifestyle that I didn't really want to live, but I felt like I was forced to. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, but that being down there, being raised down there, that made me who I am now. That gave me the strength to be able to go in the cage and fight. You know what I mean? All the people I grew up with, like sleeping on the street and stuff like that, not having nothing to eat. Like just everything I've been through down there, that's why I am the way I am today. That's why I could go in there and give everything I got and know that I can't go back to what I used to be doing.
Mm-hmm. What can you tell us about your family?
Well, my family, me and my dad, we was actually pretty cool. You know what I'm trying to say? Growing up, I actually looked up to him. But then once I started getting older, I just started seeing stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Just started seeing stuff. Him and my mom always fighting at the house. He was kind of abusive to us. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, just beating up on us, beating up on my mom. Like, it was just hard. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and then my mom, she had her little drinking problem, and she left. She just up and left us, went to California. And it was just like I just felt like I lost everything when my mom left, and I just really turned my back from my family and turned it towards the street. You know what I'm trying to say? And then I just put like that was my new family. Being on the street, all my friends, those were the people I came to when I was hungry, the people I went to when I needed some money or something like that. So yeah.
What did your father do for a living?
Right now I think he's driving trucks across the country or something like that. I mean, me and him talk. We're actually cool. We had a really bad relationship a few years ago, but we actually sat down one day and talked about it. And as a man, I had to forgive him. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he was young, he was doing his life, so I forgive him. For what he did. You know what I mean? And that's just part of life.
Do you feel like fighting has kind of been part of your life?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So me and my cousin Anthony, he actually just passed away. Recipes. Like he got an older brother, D'Angelo. We call him Rocket. They used to always fight, right? So whenever they used to fight, he used to come up to me, be like, "Hey, bro, we gonna jump him. Like, come on." So I be, all right, like I got you. You know what I'm saying? Me and Anthony was really close. So then we go start jumping him, start beating him up. But he's so big, D'Angelo's so big, so tall, like he overpower us. You know what I'm trying to say? We start fighting,
Yeah.
and that was basically my life. Basically my whole life been fighting. You know what I'm trying to say? Whether it was play fighting or really fighting, or just seeing people fighting or being in house over fighting, I was just always around like that type of environment.
Huh. Like when was like your first real fight then, would you say?
My first real fight was probably in elementary school, because I was a little shy as a kid, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I was quiet. I was always in my shell, you know what I'm trying to say? I was never really, like, out there like that. And, people always try to, like, take advantage of that. And I remember the first fight I remember is when I was at a park. I was at Car Ranches Park. And then, like, one of the kids was, like, picking on me and stuff like that. And my cousin, he looked at me, because my cousin used to always have my back. Anthony always had my back. And, today, he just looked at me, and I could see it in his eyes. Like, he was all like, nah, like, today's going to be the day that you're going to break out your shell. You know what I'm trying to say? And he just sat back, and, like, he sat on, like, the bench, and he was just looking at me, like, seeing what I was going to do. And then, like, I looked at him, like, he looked like he wanted to cry, but he didn't want, like, he was like, I can't help you, you know what I mean? And then from there, it was like I just had to fight back.
Would you say that you liked fighting early on?
No, I didn't like fighting. I didn't like fighting at all. I didn't like the feeling of fighting. It definitely because being in a household that was in violence, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I didn't like it, you know what I'm trying to say? I always wanted to be away from that, you know what I mean? But that's why I needed somebody to be like, you know what, I can't help you this time. Like, you go ahead and do what you got to do, be a man, stand up, you know what I mean? And once I did that, that's when I was like, okay, this is easy. Like, going out here fighting somebody that's trying to step up to me or something like this easy work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's only going to last for, like, what, 3 minutes, you know what I mean? Like, I could do this, you know what I'm trying to say? So that was it.
And so if your mom was gone a lot of the time working, and then she'd come home and she'd drink, but it sounds like you were very close to her. How did you form like such a strong relationship?
Honestly, it was just you know, that was my mama. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, the kids get their strength for their mama. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, my mom gave me my strength. She gave me the will to fight. You know what I'm trying to say? Watching her go through that and then still go to work and come home and be with us, like, that gave me my strength. You know what I mean? So I always love my mama. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I was just so hateful. Like, I had so much anger inside of me. That's really what it did. It just made me angry. Like, that's all I can really describe is that. I remember always being mad, always I rebelled a lot, didn't want to go to school. I remember playing football and giving up on that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just angry. I just remember being angry a lot.
What kind of lifestyle were you living on the streets?
Just like gang banging, you know what I'm trying to say? Just being with my homies, you know what I'm trying to say? Just doing like criminal stuff, like just out there selling drugs, doing shit like that, you know what I'm trying to say? Just living a different life, you know what I mean? Like living lives that was never really for me, you know what I'm trying to say? Like everything I was doing, I never really wanted to do. It just felt like I had to do it. Because, you know, once you're inside of a box and that box is shut, you can never see anything on the outside of that box. You know what I'm trying to say? All you know is what's inside that box, right? So before I realized that there was a better life, I was trapped in that. And then once I came to California, I seen that there was something different. Like I finally got out of that box and seen a whole different lifestyle that I could live. And that's when I turned my life around.
Can you talk about any of the fights that you've been in during that time in your life?
Yeah, man. You know, being so angry, man, I used to fight and I used to sit there and like it wasn't even like a fight. It was like more of a like gladiator, like, oh, I'm about to try to kill you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, being so angry, you start fighting and like everything comes out. And then like that's when I knew I was starting to lose it. You know what I'm trying to say? I was starting to like lose myself into that lifestyle.
Okay. It sounds like the move though to California was great for you. It really turned your life in a different direction. Is that true?
No, when I first came out here, I was 17, right? And I hated it. Like, I wanted to be back on the street doing my shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, doing my stuff with my homies in Florida, you know what I mean? And then, so I came out here, and then I remember just me and my mom always fighting. I used to always tell her, like, I want to go back. And then, I got arrested, and then I went to jail for a year.
Went to jail in San Francisco.
Yeah.
For a year.
A program, for a year.
Okay. And so you were how old when you spent a year in jail?
I was 17, and then I got out when I was 18.
Okay. And then what happened when you were 18?
When I got out, I moved back to Florida because I was on probation for like 6 months, and then they took me off probation. I was like, okay, I'm gone. And I went back to Florida to live the fucking lifestyle that I fucking.
You still wanted it even after a year?
Yeah, I still wanted it. But at this point in time, the girl I was with at this time, my kid's mother, she got pregnant, and that's what made me come back here. Because don't get me wrong, I was still down there living the life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like living a life that I felt was right for me. But then she told me she was pregnant, and I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? I can't live this no more. Like, let's go to California. Because I knew California is where, like, it's not going to be like this. You know what I'm trying to say? So we moved back to California, yeah.
You knew that right away? Like, she told you she was pregnant and you just knew?
Yeah, once she told me she was pregnant, because I made a choice, you know what I'm trying to say? Because I was like, okay, am I going to live this life and my daughter come, and I'm going to be still doing this same old shit? Or am I going to want to make a difference for my kids so my kids don't got to live this lifestyle? And so I was like, yeah, like, we out.
Okay. And what were you doing for a job?
I was just training at this point in time.
You were training fighting?
Because once I had my daughter, I was like, man, I need to protect my kids and stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? And so I was like, I want to learn fighting. You know what I'm trying to say? And then once I had my first amateur fight, I was like, yeah, I could do this. I'm gonna do this as a career.
So you started learning how to fight so you could protect your daughter.
Just so I can protect my family, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, just so, cause I ain't have nobody out here. If I get into a problem, who am I gonna call? You know what I'm trying to say? I can't call my homies. They way in Florida. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, where they gonna drive out here? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I had to learn how to protect myself. So I just started fighting, and then my coach asked me like, "Hey, you want to fight?" And yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I want to fight." I had my first amateur fight and took off ever since.
Do you think, like when you came to an actual like martial arts gym, but you had been in like it sounds like a lot of street fights. I bet that creates kind of like an interesting style, or like what was that like transitioning from a street fighting to like now in a martial arts academy?
When I fight now, what I'm thinking about life or death. You trying to kill me, I'm trying to kill you. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's just a mentality that I always had. You know what I mean? And then one thing I do say is that martial arts did change me in the fact that it helped me get rid of that anger. You know what I'm trying to say? Get rid of like certain stuff that was deep down inside.
And you had like 6 amateur fights, didn't you?
7. I was 6-1 as an amateur.
Why did you have so many amateur fights, do you think?
Now, I remember I was about to quit fighting because my mom was putting a lot of pressure on me. She was like, oh, you need to get a job, man up for your kids. Like, you're not being a man, this and that. Like, you need to like do something that's going to bring money into the house. And I remember always telling her like, Mom, this is going to pay off. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I met Adam, which is my striking coach. And then Adam was all like he just basically was like, oh, I believe in you. Like, he was like, I believe in you. Like, I believe you could be in the UFC. I believe that you could be great in this. Like, so don't give up. Like, keep going. And then from there, yeah, just now I'm here.
And it was one of those things that it kind of sounds like you knew you were good, but like someone else telling you that you were good and that you could make it to the UFC was what kind of put it over the edge for you, like hearing it from somebody else.
Well, I just knew that I could fight. You know what I'm saying? Well, not like technical wise fight, but I just knew that I had the will to go in there and fight anybody. You know what I'm trying to say? I just need somebody to tell me that, like, I needed to do this, sharpen this up, and then you could actually be up here. Like right now, because he was telling me like right now you're right here. You're just a fighter. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't really have no technique right now. You know what I mean? And then he put it in my head that I could be better than that. Like, I don't need to just go in there like, okay, like just go all out. Like, go in there, actually feel it out. Like, get my movement right, get my hands right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Talk about your guillotine. You have an effective one, right? I mean, is that kind of like your trade? It's becoming your trademark a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. I just remember getting it in my second fight. Well, my third fight. I remember getting in my third fight and just like choking, like just like trying to break this guy's neck. Like, okay, I'm gonna get it. And then ever since then, it was like my coaches like would help me work on it, and they showed me how to do it. And now it just got like now if somebody get into it, like it's rarely that they escape. You know what I'm trying to say? If they do escape, it's because I did something wrong. You know what I mean? But now if I get it now, it's like I know what to do. Like I know you're not getting out.
How do you think you were able to forgive your father for everything?
I just realized my cousin said something to me one day. He's like big in he's big in like God and stuff like that. So I remember he said he read me something from the Bible and he was all like, God said that if you don't forgive the person that hurt you the most, you know what I'm trying to say, that eventually you'll start to turn out like them. Like you'll start to basically become that person that you hate the most. You know what I'm trying to say? So I just remember looking at myself in the mirror and I remember just seeing my dad's face. And then, like, it was just, yeah, I just had to, like, I just told myself I had to forgive him. Because if I didn't forgive him, then I was going to be just like him. Because I remember still having that hate in my heart, you know? And then, yeah, when I forgave him, a lot of stuff went away.
What does it mean a lot to you to have this fight be in Sunrise? Or what's the significance of that to you?
I feel like I disappointed my dad a lot, you know what I mean? Disappointed my mom. And all my family down there, you know what I'm trying to say? So I just, like going back there and doing something different, showing them that, like a lot of people thought I'd be dead or in jail by now, you know? Nobody thought I'd be doing this, you know what I mean? So to go back there and to leave this behind and have them see me, have them see that I changed my life from being way down here to being up here now. Like that's big for me. You know what I'm trying to say? Now they can look at me and be like, oh, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I'm proud that you got your life right. I'm proud that you know, just doing what you got to do.